Hi everyone, it's Shannon here for my first weekly recap of Big Brother Canada Season 3. If you haven't seen my first video, you can check that out for my initial thoughts on each house guest, just based solely on their interviews and bios on BigBrotherCanada.ca. But this week is just going to be about the first 2 episodes that have aired and the first eviction, which was on Wednesday night. So yeah, just get right to it. So the house gets all move into the house and they find that there's absolutely nothing there. No furniture, no food, no beds, nothing. And I was thoroughly happy with that because it sort of reminded me how back in like season 2, sort of the beginning of Big Brother US, where they had to earn their luxuries. Like, they had locks on the hot tub and on the pool and things like that. So it kind of reminded me in that regard, which I thought was really cool, but they took it, obviously, to a much more extreme with taking away their food and everything and kind of making them earn that, which I thought was really cool and something that had never been done, and that was really awesome for them to, stretch and, take the unexpected to a whole different sort of turn. Listening to them complain about it sort of irked me because it's like, okay, you still have water and you have slop, and obviously that doesn't taste great, so, but it's a form of food and it's obviously not forever, but you're not like starving, and you're not like, how a lot of people on Survivor where they're sleeping on trees and sleeping on the ground and sleeping outside where you don't, like, you have shelter, so that's something. And you obviously know that you're not going to go forever without your furniture and your clothes and your personal items and stuff, so it's not the end of the world. It was only for like a night or 2, so come on, suck it up, it's okay. So then after they're all in, they briefly all meet each other, and then Arissa announces to them that this week everyone is going to be the head of household, and that just entailed that everyone would have to pick 2 people to nominate for eviction, and then the 2 people that then received the most nominations would actually then become the nominees. So I thought it was interesting. I noted who each person kind of voted for, so I could see sort of where their head was at and kind of where they wanted to go with their nominations. I can sort of understand sort of both sort of perspectives, because in that position, I can't say that I wouldn't vote sort of personal. I want to get rid of someone that's annoying the crap out of me, because you don't want to, be spending potentially 70 plus days with someone that's just going to annoy the crap out of you. So I can get that. However, getting out a stronger physical threat at the beginning is obviously beneficial to them as well. So it was kind of interesting to see where some people's heads were at, if they just, put their people annoying them aside or what. And it seemed like most people wanted to get rid of the one person that was at least annoying the crap out of me. And at least half the house, since I ended up counting that Cindy with an S got 8 votes from the house guests. So at least half of the house wanted her gone. That's pretty intense. I can't say that I wasn't one of them. I probably would have nominated her, and then maybe a physical threat, or, maybe another person that annoyed me too. Can't really say until I'm in the moment, but I can probably say that she probably would have been one of them, because, who goes up to people and is like, "Hi, I'm Shannon with an S." Like, duh, of course you are. Like, it doesn't matter what the heck letter your name starts with, as long as people say it right. Like, it's something you can kind of tell them later, like, "Oh, this makes me unique, whatever, my parents spell it differently," but, or like if it comes up in conversation or something, but to just introduce yourself as that and have that be your thing that you talk about, like, no, it's really annoying, especially in this sort of situation where where your social game is kind of everything. So she received the most votes, and then obviously Risha received the next most votes, which I can also understand. She seemed very standoffish to me, and I was a little off-put by her being, like, I understand being confident yourself, and she's a beautiful, gorgeous woman, but again, I have to just emphasizing those very large boobs of herself, and it's just weird to me. Like, I don't know. So, anyways, and then everybody else seemed to, I think there was like Pilar, actually, which a lot of people think that she doesn't really kind of know what's going on, but she ended up putting Zach as one of her people to put up on the block, which I felt was pretty interesting because he's a quarterback, so he's definitely one of the more physical threats. So I was like, and she nominated Bruno alongside, and I don't know what her reasoning was, but as we know, he is a big time gamer and is obviously very, very smart. So I mean, whether intentional or not, she actually picked 2 really decent threats in the game for nominations. So for people to say that she doesn't know and doesn't have a strategy, doesn't know what she's doing, maybe she does. Even if she does appear to be kind of out of it in some senses. And Sarah's nominations as well. She nominated Zach and Kevin. Kevin being the professional poker player and everything. I thought those were really good choices too. So Sarah is definitely growing on me, which if you've seen my first impression videos, you know that she definitely was not one of my favorites just because I felt like I couldn't connect to her, but her intelligence and awareness of things that are going on in the game and how observant she is making me really like her and really pull for her. So I'm happy to say that because that's awesome. I love when, there's someone that's really strategic and kind of really knows what's going on in the game and everything like that. I think only one person, Willow, ended up being one of the people that nominated her. So, and let's see, Willow, Jordan, Johnny, Greg, and Brittany were the only 5 people that didn't receive any nominations. So I thought that was just, interesting to just note off the bat. Okay, so in order for them to earn their furniture and everything, they had to compete in this 5-hour balloon challenge. They had 5 balloons they had to hold up for 5 hours so that they would get the numbers that were inside for their 5 numbers to go in their passcode so that they could unlock the safe and get their stuff and all their furniture and everything. And then afterwards, we found out that they could get a welcome home barbecue if they did that, if they took everything out in under 45 minutes. So, this is a cool challenge. It obviously took a lot of time, and because they're sleep deprived, food deprived, it was a bit exhausting for them as well. But they did accomplish it, and even though they were sabotaged by Kevin, which was a task from Big Brother, for him to intentionally make one of the balloons, I think it was supposed to just touch the ground, but he ended up making it all around pop, which was kind of funny. But he got $1,000 for that, and did that, planning that for Canada, which did make us like him more, so that was really smart on his part too, since Canada is a bit more involved in this show. It's not just playing to your house guests, it's also playing to your viewers, getting the viewers to like you as well. So we also had the POV competition. No, I'm really kind of jumping between the 2 episodes, but I was on the house talk, so I just kept going there. And during the POV competition, surprise, but Cindy with the freaking ass one. So my hopes of her going home were shattered. And then she chose to nominate Pilar in her place, and this made me so sad because I was like, great, now having a tough choice to decide who I'd rather go home. And then, of course, as it turns out, Canada was the deciding vote on who went to go home anyways. So I actually was one of the people that voted to keep Pilar, since I just initially liked her from the beginning more. Nothing really against Risha at all. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I just, felt like I liked Pilar just a bit more, so I wanted to help save her. So then it was kind of funny because a lot of the beginning of the second episode was showing Cindy trying to make relationships with both Risha and Pilar, depending on whoever stayed of the two. And seeing Pilar be like, oh, Cindy is so nice, blah, 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 she's my friend. Like, she nominated you. Do you not remember that? Oh, Pilar, I love you, but come on, girl. Think about that for a minute there. Just, yeah. But Cindy's gameplay is terrible. She seems like she really has no idea what she's doing, whether she's coming or going or what. So I have a feeling she'll probably go home soon, especially if she keeps being as annoying as she is. And the fact that she thinks she's playing so well just makes me cringe. But I did end up feeling really bad for Risha when she was, unfortunately, did end up getting evicted, because not only was she nominated by the whole house, but then she was evicted by the country. So, I mean, being the first one to go out obviously stings enough as it is, but to have that whole pill to swallow, so to speak, I don't know how I would feel about that. I mean, she kept it together. She was super classy, super everything. So, I mean, that's great. But I don't really think Big Brother was really a thing for her. I think it took a lot out of her, and I think it was a lot more than she originally expected it would be. So, but, there's always that lovely twist that they said at the end where one of the first 5 could come back. So she could potentially be one of the 5 to come back. I am happy, though, that they are putting them into sequester this time and not, well, I guess when Gary went back, it was just in jury, but at least they're doing this right and putting people in sequester so that, when they come back, they don't know, like, really what else has all happened until, I'm assuming there's some sort of competition for them to come back. So that is really cool. And a couple things that I just wanted to note before I wrap this all up. I really, as I mentioned before, Sarah grew on me a lot in the last couple of episodes, which made me really happy. I liked that she seemed to be aware that Kevin was the one responsible for popping that balloon. So that was really smart. And then she aligning with Brittany, I thought was really great. And I hope those two stick together. And maybe for once we can have a solid girl alliance, even if it's just 2 of them, something. Because girl alliances seem to never work, and I understand why that is, but, there's always that hope that just once it can happen. And I think if anyone can, it might be those 2 that can somewhat pull it off. So there's hope for that, and sorry, I'm just checking my notes really quick. Oh, yes, and then we also had the first alliance. They don't have a name, so I don't know whether to officially call them an alliance or what, but Zach and Jordan pairing up kind of felt like a Shield 2.0 sort of esque, just because you have the muscular sort of guy that's charismatic, and then you have the, sort of Peter 2.0. Not that if you follow my blog, know how much I appreciate and expect and respect Peter for his mind and his game and liked him during the season. So, but I'm not really that big of a fan of Jordan yet. Not that I don't think like he's a great super fan. I think he's really smart and can do well. It's just, I don't know. It'll probably take some time to grow on me, but we'll see. But I think that he's really smart to align with Zach, because no matter what, even if people figure them out, and they come after the 2 of them and they put them up together, they're going to likely get rid of Zach first, because he's this really physically fit, charismatic, charming guy. So Jordan's in a good spot kind of no matter what, even if he did get found out, because he could potentially have another week to win them back over when he's like, oh, I'm alone, I lost my partner. So so I have faith in all that. So that's all for this week's episode, kind of thoughts. So far this season is going really great. I'm not majorly in love with any of them yet. Kind of have to see them more, maybe watch some more of the live feeds and get a feel. But I will be doing these videos every week. I should be able to have them up on Thursdays, like I said before, and should be able to live tweet during every episode, which are on Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. So, and obviously all that will be done on Twitter, and my Twitter is at sbauer17. That's SBAUER17. And I will also link that down below. And be sure to follow me here on YouTube for more videos. Subscribe to my channel, like, comment, all that fun stuff. Thumbs up. Because I do have a lot of fun doing these videos. I know I'm a little nervous still, just kind of getting into it, but I think as I go, I'll get a lot more comfortable. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys next week.